Areca palm is one of the most common house plants in India. Yet it has the highest mortality rate among plants. If you have also killed one of your palm babies or want to grow healthier and greener palms, watch the new episode of 5 Secrets to Grow Healthy Palms. Hello plant parents, welcome to the new episode of 5 Secrets to Grow Healthy Palms. And yes, today I'll be talking about one of the most common houseplants you have, which is an Areca palm. And I'm sure most of you must have killed it at least once. So tell me, how many of you guys have these brown edges and you keep cutting it with your scissors? If you are the one, I think you should look at all the 5 secrets on how to avoid them and how to grow a healthier and greener baby. So in this one, I had this beautiful lush green foliage of Areca. But for the last 4 months, I had to actually kill it and then regrow it. So in this, if you look at the older leaves, these are the ones which I have tried to use different methods which you should not do, and I have done it so that we start getting bad leaves and we should have the foliage where it gets brown, and at the same time I started nutrition it back, so you can see all the new leaves also coming in, right? So let me just give you a brief about first about the Areca. So Areca basically comes from mostly the tropical parts of the world. So most of the coastal regions where there is high humidity, near the oceans, you will see them growing wild without any care also, and that's the natives of palms. So they like higher humidity sort of regions. It's tough to grow in the northern part of India, but if you're growing it indoors, it sort of does good in terms of foliage, and since it's such a sturdy plant, it recovers also really fast. So let's start with the 5 secrets, and the first secret you should be knowing about is overwatering it. So if you see these leaves which came out, one of the reasons why this happened was the overwatering. So plant like Areca always like porous soil or a media, and they should always have a hole at the bottom of the planter. So what I did was I choked the hole and I started watering heavily for almost 15-20 days. Apart from giving it low light, and I started seeing symptoms where the plant was not feeling good, because the symptoms like the edges started to get tips burns, and these were from new healthy leaves. If you get it from the older leaves, that's fine, but if you start seeing it from the newer leaves getting the browner tips, that's the symptoms when you are overwatering it. And to check that overwatering, you also should always do a spoon test or do an eye test around it, and make sure that the hole at the bottom is quite big enough so that the roots are not getting clogged inside the water, which means that they should be very porous whenever you water it. You should do a complete watering and then let it dry. A lot of times what people do is they just keep doing half a cup every day, but never water it completely. So make sure when you're watering your palms, don't overwater them, and the process to do it is do a complete watering and make sure that the water is draining out of your planters, and if not, just check the hole of why it's happening, and then don't water it for almost 4-5 days, so that you see that drying phase also, and then again water it, right? So you do good watering and then let it dry, then again do good watering and then let it dry. It should be the process about it, right? So that's one thing you should look at, that don't overwater the plant, and if you will do, you'll start seeing the symptoms of browner leaves coming out of it. The second most important point is not to underwater also, right? So a lot of times when people, when we talk about saying, you have overwatered it, people, because getting scared, don't water them also, right? So don't do that. Don't underwater also the plants, which means that ideally palms in India should be watered twice or thrice a week, depending again on what type of weather they are. Let's say they are in a place like in Delhi, where right now it's July and August time, and it's high humidity, so evaporation is less. But still, I water it at least twice, and I see it from the perspective of the how the media is. If it's light brown, is when I water it. I put a stick or a spoon inside it to check if I'm not over watering it also. And if I do, then I keep it not watered it, don't water it for a longer period of time of 7-8 days. And this, I think, you will learn when you start to live with it, when you'll see the new leaves coming in, and which you'll know that okay, you're doing the right process. If not, then you'll see what there is something wrong, you're doing it. So the second step is also to make sure that you don't underwater the plants. Again, the symptoms of underwatering will be your older leaves or the very new leaves will start dying out. Right. In this case, mostly the old leaves, which are the last leaves which are coming out of it, you will see them drying out, or the newer ones which are there also will not get nutrition and they will not open up. So instead of opening, they will dry out completely. Right. So that also systems of underwatering. In case you have underwatered it and your leaves have turned brown, now what you can only do is either you can cut the whole branch of it. But if you think that by cutting the branch your whole foliage will go down, you will have to trim it from the edge. So because I wanted to show a healthier, bit more healthier palm here, I have cut it from the edges here, right? And but I haven't removed the whole leaf from it. So again, you can cut the edges, the brown tips, so that they will not look too ugly. They will again turn brown, and again you will have to keep cutting it and keep trimming it across. So yes, coming back, that's the second secret which you should follow. The third secret is on overfeeding, right? So this only happens to the parents who actually tend to either put a liquid fertilizers or use NPKs without the instructions. And that's why I try and not recommend to use NPK in a direct form or fertilizers in a powder or a liquid forms, because you don't know how much to pay, and a lot of times either you tend to overfeed it or underfeed it, right? So when you feed it and you realize it's not growing, you again put it more. Don't do that. And the best way to avoid that is to buy the slow releasers. They are these small little balls which keep giving the feed regularly. So your overfeeding gets out of question, which means all your feed which goes over a period of 6 months, usually in the case of the normal Basa coats or Nutri-Coats or Nurturing Greens all-in-one plant food, will have these slow releasers where it will keep going slowly into the plant, and you have no symptoms of overfeeding. I don't have any symptoms here of overfeeding here because I use them, but again what you will see is when you're giving more food and the plant is not able to digest it, and that's why again you will see symptoms of brown tips coming out of it. So make sure that you don't overfeed your babies all around. The fourth mistake or a fourth secret is to find the source. A lot of time when we buy the plants from local nurseries, we don't check where it's been grown. So you need to know the placement of the plant, because when you bring your baby home and you put it indoors, an outdoor grown palm, it will go for a shock of a sunlight, which is a lux levels, a shock of a temperature, which is a temperature shock. In these both two shocks, you will see that the plant will die. So what ideally you should have it, if you buy local ones, they will mostly be outdoor growns. If you find a palm which is this height and you're getting it for 300-400 rupees, it's mostly, in all probabilities in India, is grown in Kolkata in the clay soil and is grown outdoors. If you are using it for an area like this for your indoors, don't please buy it. Then all probabilities it will dry. In case you want to, you need to not get the transition shock. So which means that you first have to, for a year or for 6 months, want to grow it in a semi-outdoor areas, then bring it to a semi-indoor area and then to an indoor area. When you buy them, just check where is the source, where they have kept it, where they have grown this plant. A plant this size, if grown outdoors, it will take at least 8-10 months to a year to bring them completely indoors. Else you will see a shock and the leaves will dry out. And I think this is one of the most common things which I have seen when I visit the homes of our customers. A lot of people have these Areca palms, and they're not grown indoors. They're basically for the landscaping purposes, for the outdoors. And when people keep it in the bedrooms or in the drawing rooms, they start seeing again the brown leaves coming in. A plant is used to prepare its food or do a photosynthesis at a lux levels of 10,000 to 15,000, right? And at a temperature, let's say, which is in Kolkata around 30-35, suddenly with the high humidity levels, and suddenly bring it to Delhi, or let's say to Bangalore, or to somewhere else in India at a very different levels of humidity, light and temperatures, and that's where it goes for a shock. So make sure when you are finding the source, you follow the same rules. So, if you want to buy an outdoor plant, or want to taking from a nursery where they're grown outdoors, you do these 3 steps. For a few months, you keep it in your balconies or in areas where there is some shade, so you don't get a very strong light or a strong exposure to an outdoors. Then bring it to an indoor area, semi-indoor area like this, which gets a decent light, and then you bring it to indoor areas, where you get 700-800 lux. So this area gets almost 2 to 2,500 lux in this areas. So this should be the thing. Always look at the source. I mean, if you want to keep it indoors, you should always buy or ask your garden center or nursery to give you an indoor Areca palm. And if he says it's an indoor Areca palm, you need to check it where they have grown it. If they've grown it outdoor, not in a poly house or in a shade areas, they will never be able to claim that it's been grown indoors. It has to be grown in a 2,000 to 2,500 indoor lux areas, and that's where you will not see that transition shock. This also happens in the month or 2 of buying your plant. So if you see that your plant is drying or having these symptoms in a month or max of 2 months of your buying, I think it's mostly because of the transition shock. So that's the 4th thing. The 5th secret is to not have a very low light or a low humidity into it. So plants usually, palms don't like 100 to 200 lux levels, nor the humidities of 20-30, unless it's a succulent or a cacti. But most of the indoor plants like to have a lux of somewhere around 800 to 1000 lux. They thrive at 1500 to 2000 lux. Beyond that, obviously the temperature, if you increase the lux, the temperature goes up, and then there's a problem of a temperature shock. But for the palms, make sure that you keep them into 1000 to 1500 lux ideally, and a humidity of somewhere around anything above 50, 55, 60 around. Since it's a tropical plant, it grows well into the coastal areas. There always the humidity is high. So what I do with my palms, especially when I was reviving it and it was June, I used to give it a microclimate of humidity control. So we used to spray with a very fine hole, so that it becomes a mist around and into the leaves, so that once or twice a day, so the plant used to feel a microclimate of higher humidities and doesn't get dried out into it. When you are making sure that if you are not able to control the humidities, just make sure that at least the water below is being controlled there. If you're not controlling both of them, in June you will see your palms drying out for sure. So make sure that you manage your humidities by spraying once a day all around it, so that it feels comfortable, and do it ideally in the morning, so that from morning when it's peak hot around and the humidity is really low, plant is still having some moisture retained on the leaves, and it's sort of not going into that very low humidity levels around. Again, as I said, for the lux, make sure you put it something like this if you really want to revive your plant. I have put it here because it's a 22,000 to 2,500 lux which I get here. I can even keep it at 1,000 lux. We have tried doing it and thriving it at 1,000 lux, and it does very good here. When we commercially grow it, we make sure that we manage a lux of 1,000 to 2,500 only, so that they thrive when they're growing indoors at our customer's place. That's the 5th secret from our side. In case you follow all these 5 secrets, I am very sure you'll grow a very healthier and greener palms. In case you're still having problems after following these for a month and a half and 2 and you're not seeing any new leaves, do reach out to me on our Instagram, Facebook or YouTube channel, and we'll help you grow up healthier and greener palms. Thank you so much for watching My Plant, My Baby, and look forward to more interacting with you and keep making you fall in love with gardening. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Do subscribe to our channel, My Plant, My Baby, on YouTube.